Good morning, everybody. So I am giving the clear picture of the thyristor. The thyristor is a four-layer, three-junction, and three-terminal semiconductor device. The terminals are anode, cathode, and the gate. The thyristors are operated as bistable switches. That is on state and an off state. Okay. These thyristors are acting as a bistable switches. Okay, you just remember one is an on state and the other is the off state. Okay, so this is also called as a silicon controlled rectifier. So I'll just explain how this three junction is going to generate. Okay, so we have a anode, cathode, and gate as the three terminals. Three junctions are J1, J2, and J3. So I'll just zoom it. You'll get to know clearly. Yeah. What happens here? So J1, J2, and J3 you have. Okay. So anode is connected to positive terminal and cathode is connected to negative terminal. Okay. So PN junction we have a J1, NP junction as J2. So P is connected to gate terminal and PN junction is acting as a J3. So when positive voltage is applied to the anode terminal of the thyristor, okay, it gets attract, that is the holes present in the P type of semiconductor gets repelled and it gets attracted towards the N type of semiconductor. What happens here? So when it moves across to this, what happens? The mobile, that is the combination of the hole and electron pair will be more. So due to that, current will be flowing through this. So this will be acting as a short circuited. Okay, when negative terminal is connected to N type of semiconductor and it gets attracted towards the P type of semiconductor, here also we can observe that J3 is acting as a short circuited terminal. Okay, and what about here the P and N here J2? So J2 is an open circuited because no current flows through the uh, P type of semiconductor because P is here, so we are not giving any supply to the VGK. So when VGK is 0, that is we are not applied to this, what happens? This junction is acting as a open circuited one. Okay, so now this particular operation we are going to call it as a forward blocking mode. Okay, so from here to 0 to here, so how much up to what level you can give it as a VBO, that is the VAK, so that is only up to VBO level, so the breakover voltage. So till then you can give it, that is a maximum voltage to work your thyristor under the conduction mode, that is nothing but a blocking mode. So that is blocking is nothing but you're blocking your energy into the thyristor for some period of time, so that will be loaded up to the VBO level. Okay, so this area we are going to call it as a forward blocking mode. Okay, so now after this what happens, you are going to observe, see after it reaches to VBO level, you cannot apply more than that voltage level. So okay, so what happens, you are going to remain as it is, but in turn we are going to apply the gate voltage. So when the gate voltage is applied gradually to the junction J2, what happens here, slowly the current starts flowing from the J2 junction towards the J3 junction. So that is J2 gets forward biased. Okay, J2 gets short circuited and it gets forward biased, and slowly the current starts flowing. So that is from the minimum current to the maximum. See here, so this is for the minimum current. So that is nothing but when no gate voltage is applied to this J2, so no current is flowing through this particular junction, even through the whole circuit. What happens, because as this is open circuited, because of these two short circuited, the current will not flow very easily through the this particular loop as well as through this circuit, this particular loop. What happens, so you're going to find out very minute level of voltage current is flowing through that will be very very minimum, less than 3 to 5 milliamps. Okay, so due to the wide depletion region across the J2 junction. Okay, so as this gets short circuited, what happens? So now the current slowly gets increased here. So for the initial current, wherein you are holding your current, that is the current level, that is high H. When current reaches to holding current level, okay, the gate the gate terminal as well as the thyristor gets triggered. Okay, so up to what level? That is up to when it reaches to the IL level. So that is a latching current level. So latching current level, the difference between the current levels of IH and IL will be very very minimum. That is 3 to 5 milliamps. Okay, from 0 to IH level is also will be between 0 to 5 milliamps. Okay, so now during this level, so IH to IL, slowly the gate of the what is it? The current flowing through the gate will be minimum. It is going to flow through the circuit. Okay, so once it reaches to the latching level, latching point, that is a current maximum to that when the actual thyristor starts conducting is after the device reaches the latching current, that is IL. This particular region we are going to call it as a conducting state. That is nothing but an on state. Okay, so on state when it is generated after the thyristor reaches the latching current level, we are going to observe the thyristor is continuously acting as an on state. That is called as a conducting state. Okay, so below this IL level as well as IH level, we are going to call it as an off state. So this region from VBO 0 to VBO and 0 to IH is called as an off state. Okay, so the entire, see, that's what I have written here. So this is a forward leakage current, this is a forward blocking mode, and this is your conducting state, and this is your conducting region here. Okay, so the entire circuit operation you are going to um, analyze by this set of characteristics. So what about your reverse characteristics, that is reverse blocking mode? That means whenever the um, negative terminal is connected to anode and positive terminal is connected to the cathode of the thyristor, the wide depletion region is going to happen across J1 and J3. And J2 will be continuously in the on state, it will be short circuited, but due to the reverse mode that is happening at J1 and J3, we are going to observe there is a wide depletion region. Because of that, very minute, that is in microamps levels, the current will be flowing through the circuit, and up to where we are going to observe there is a negative VAK level, that is up to breakdown voltage. So till it reaches the breakdown voltage, it will be acting as a reverse blocking mode up to there. Okay, and this area, what I have mentioned here, is called as a reverse leakage current. Okay, so now you came to know like how actually it is going to work during the on state, during the off state, as well as the reverse blocking mode. So this is a reverse leakage current, this is a forward leakage current, this is your forward blocking mode, and this is your reverse blocking mode. So this forward blocking mode happens when positive terminal of the supply is connected to anode and negative terminal is connected to the cathode. What about your reverse blocking mode? Reverse blocking mode happens when anode is connected to the negative terminal of the supply and cathode is connected to the positive terminal of the supply. Okay, next. So what about your leakage current? Sorry, what is it? Latching current. Latching current is the minimum forward current that flows through the thyristor to keep it in forward conduction mode. That is nothing but on state at the time of triggering. So that current is, we are going to call it as a latching current. Okay, so if the forward current is less than the latching current, the thyristor circuit does not turn on. Okay, where that is something but less than latching current up to 0 of the IAK is called as a turn off state. Okay, so once it enters into the triggering mode, once it enters into the triggering mode, we are going to call it as a, it is working, the thyristor is working on the on state. Okay. So now you have to be in touch with whatever I'm sending the lectures for you people. You just give you your feedback corresponding to my video lectures communicated with you people. You just learn whatever I have submitted the materials with respect to the PPTs, with respect to the written material, with respect to the video lectures If you are very much comfortable in listening my video lectures, you just contact me and you can just send a feedback to me through the email, and so that I'll be able to rectify my mistakes, as well as I'll be able to rectify your doubts, everything, so that it will be very much comfortable to work on virtual classes, and even I'll be very much happy to share my subject information with you people. Okay, thank you very much.